So, Hyperkin, the makers of the Retron 5, as well as some, other hardware that plays older games, is coming out with, I want to say, probably their first Game Boy centered piece of hardware, and it is being called the Ultra GB. There's not an official. They've actually revealed a prototype at CES, which just happened this past week, Consumer Electronics Show, and they haven't given an official price yet, but there's, a lot of people think it's going to be about $100. It is about the size and shape of a Game Boy Pocket, so it's the smaller variety. It's not the big, fat, ugly brick. And it's going to have front lighting. It's going to play all the Game Boy games. Probably, I don't think that there's any Game Boy Color support. I'll have more to say on that in a minute. But the final model is going to have an RGB wheel, which will allow you to change the color of the front lighting. So I think at the show, the one that they had was just blue. So if you get, it'd be kind of neat to play Pokemon Blue with blue lighting, Pokemon Red with red, that kind of thing. That'd be pretty neat. So it's basically going to play it in black and white with this colored lighting in front of it. So it's probably, like I said, not going to support Game Boy Color. It's probably just going to do original Game Boy games and the ones that could do both. They supported both Game Boy and Game Boy Color systems. So, what do you think of something like this?
I think it's really cool. I think it's... I'm kind of glad this is coming out. And I hope that when Nintendo sees this, they don't decide to go ahead and try and recreate the Game Boy as a home console. Because, like I said before when we talked about the Super Nintendo Entertainment Mini, we also talked about other things becoming one of them, and the possibility of a Game Boy home console. I wasn't a huge fan of it, or the fan of the idea, but to have something like that going around, I'd be okay with that.
And I did fail to mention it's going to include, of course, a rechargeable battery. You're not going to have double A's, which is nice, and it will it will recharge using USB-C. And they also mentioned that the final model is going to have stereo sound output, so I guess something about chiptune artists can use it to make music. So I guess that's cool. Here's why I wouldn't get it. Being the Game Boy enthusiast that I am, I feel like there's going to be... This is Hyperkin, knowing them and their business model. They're probably going to, every year or two, come out with a better model that, this one plays color. This one also plays advance. And then this model is going to be obsolete. So it's a cool idea. I want to see more of it, but I do feel like they could have done a little bit more. Unless there's something going on with the copyright, that could be a possibility, because I think that's why we haven't really seen a clone system for the N64, because the copyright on it is still valid, or maybe it just expired within the last year. But yeah, that's actually what holds companies back from making these clone consoles. They can't just clone anything they want. They can only clone stuff where the copyright has expired. So there is that. But I still think that they're going to have one that supports Game Boy Color, one that supports Game Boy Advance. And I feel like if you want to play original, and it does use cartridges. It uses the original Game Boy carts to run the games. It doesn't do emulation. It might be emulation, but I'm not sure. All I know is you have to have the original cartridge. No ROMs. The thing about that is, get a Game Boy Advance SP. It will play it with a backlight, not a front light, a backlight, if you get the right one. You want to get the one that the screen is, when it's off, it's black. If you get an SP that has a like silverish reflective screen when it's off, then you've got the front lit one. But if you get the black one, then you got the best screen on any Game Boy. So the only thing that's wrong about the Game Boy Advance SP models is they were very forward thinking. They beat Apple to the punch way before they removed their stereo headphone jack. Nintendo did it with the Game Boy Advance SP. And if you wanted to listen to the sound, you had to either plug an adapter or special headphones that plugged into the power charging port on it. So you couldn't listen to stereo headphones and charge your Game Boy at the same time. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. Other than that, I love the clamshell design, and I think it's overall better than anything Hyperkin's going to throw out. But it's still cool because I don't know how much Game Boy Advance SPs are going for on eBay, but like anything else, they're just going to get more and more expensive. So when you do have something like this come out and it's brand new and it hasn't been owned and used and banged up and all that, that is a nice option to go with. I would still just wait until they're going to come out with a better one that'll support more of the Game Boy games. Yes, yay, nay.
I didn't do either one.
You would get both. You'd get all of them.
Yeah.
You're just a big
just for consumerism.
Hyperkin
do whatever you want.
Fanboy. Right there. You'll buy them all. You heard it here, Hyperkin. First paying customer.
Exactly.